What's up, YouTube? This your boy Landon, and this is Cowboys End Zone.
Promise and call me away. Another time to carry the colors again. My motivation and no house won't defend. Doing the honor of coming back home again. No explanation will matter after we begin. I'm not the dark destroyer that's buried within. My true vocation and now my unfortunate friend. You will discover all while you're unable to win. I'll have you know that I've become indestructible. Determination and less incorruptible. From the Amazon of terror to the whole annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that they're opponent cannot be invincible. Take a last look around while you're alive. I'm an indestructible master of war.
What's up, all you Cowboy fans and haters, and welcome to another edition of Cowboys End Zone. Of course, this your boy Landon, representing that Arlington, Texas. Gonna get right down to business here. The Dallas Cowboys defeat the Washington Redskins 18-16 in a defensive battle, a rivalry game. Monday night football, Dallas Cowboys home opener. The first season opener, the first home opener ever won in the new Cowboy Stadium since it opened just a few years ago, and it comes in dramatic fashion over bitter division rivals, the Washington Redskins. A game-winning field goal by Dan Bailey with about a minute and a half to go, and then a fumble by the Washington Redskins recovered by Dallas with less than a minute to go, and Washington only had one timeout, so they didn't bother using it. And the Dallas Cowboys emerged victorious 18-16. Tony Romo did play. He did play. The defense looked phenomenal. Tony Romo, if you don't know football, you're going to say Tony Romo looks like shit. But if you know football, then you're going to be calling Tony Romo the hero of the day, just like all the other analysts are. None of the things, well, I say none, virtually almost none of the things that went wrong last night were Tony Romo's fault. The miscues on the snap, that's on the center, Phil Costa, and Tony Romo lit into him quite a few times, especially that last one that brought up a 3rd and 21, pretty much with the game on the line, which Romo did convert. He found Des Bryant right on the line. And I was in that sports chat room that I told you guys about, and there's a guy in there, a San Diego Chargers fan, who thinks he has the right to hate on somebody when his team barely beat the 0-3 Kansas City Chiefs. And he's like the biggest Cowboy hater I've ever met. And as soon as that fumble, the game wasn't even over yet, but as soon as we all knew it was over, as soon as the Cowboys got that fumble back, immediately he posts that the Cowboys only won off of a BS call, being the 15-yard face mask penalty that was called on Des Bryant. Well, to you, San Diego Chargers fan, if you're watching this, and any other idiot out there that thinks that, let me tell you, you can go back and watch the replay. We had that first down even without that flag. Okay, so it really does not matter. Yes, it got us closer to the end zone, but all we got was a field goal out of it anyway. So 15 yards closer from where we were wouldn't have made that much of a difference. We still would have made the field goal. Okay, so that flag had absolutely nothing to do with us winning. Keep hating. It's alright, because you know what, as they say, you're nobody until somebody hates you. But you know what, the bottom line is the Dallas Cowboys put their shit down last night on the Washington Redskins, and now people are going to start hating us for it, because we are now in a three-way tie for first place in the NFC East, tied of course with the Washington Redskins, who lost their first last night, and the New York Giants, who are in the same situation as we are. They lost their season opener, which happened to be against the Washington Redskins, and then proceeded to win 2 in a row. So the NFC East is in a three-way tie right now, locked up for first in the division, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this division plays out. It should be a very awesome, very epic season. Now, um, let me address London Fletcher and D'Angelo Hall. London Fletcher, I'll get to in a minute. D'Angelo Hall is quoted as saying that he was going to target Romo's ribs because he knew that they were bothering him. And people are hating D'Angelo Hall for that. Of course, D'Angelo Hall, former Atlanta Falcon, the Dirty Birds, and D'Angelo Hall absolutely was being a dirty bird with what he was saying. But the bottom line is this, guys: football is a game, just like anything else. It's strategy, but it's also physical. Um, I want you to think about UFC or wrestling if you watch that. And even the announcers say all the time, uh, if you know that your opponent is injured, you're going to target that injury because it gives you the better chance to win. And this is coming from a Cowboy fan. I have absolutely nothing against D'Angelo Hall other than the fact that he plays for the Redskins. People are going to come on here and say, oh, that was uncalled for. That's dirty. Well, you know what? Football is a dirty game. And I can tell you right now that probably 99% of the players on the Cowboys defense would do exactly the same thing. They might not go public with it and brag about how they're going to do it, but they would do exactly the same thing. But D'Angelo Hall was saying that he couldn't wait to get a shot at Romo's ribs to get him out the game. Why did he say that? Because he knows McGee is our backup, and he knows that with McGee in the game, we have absolutely no shot at winning. So he was trying to do what gives his team the best chance to win. Is it a little dirty? Of course it is. Is it against the rules? Of course not. But people still hate him for it, and coming from a Cowboys fan, he was saying that about my quarterback, guys, the guy that I support, the guy whose jersey I invested $147 plus tax in and proudly wear every time the Cowboys play. Got no problem with that. Okay, because, I mean, you think about, let's use Tony Romo as an example here for the other side. Of course, it's not physical. Well, I guess it is. It doesn't involve physically hurting anybody, but you've got Tony Romo and or even Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. They all do it. Pick on the young corners. You've got a matchup, and 9 times out of 10, the good QBs, uh, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, already know where they're going with the football before they even snap it because they see the matchup that they like and they go for it. They see a young corner, a new corner, either a rookie or a first-year guy on a veteran who outmatches them by speed and pretty much every stat available, and they're going to target that matchup because it gives them the better chances to win. Picking on that young corner or that young linebacker or whatever it may be. The defense, the Redskins defense, picked on our young offensive line today. They brought the house quite a few times, and Romo paid a huge price for it. He was taking licks back there. D'Angelo Hall was doing absolutely nothing different. All he was doing was exploiting Tony Romo. He was doing what gave his team the best chance to win. And he did get a lick in on Romo, and I was a bit worried. I didn't think Romo was going to get up from it, but he did. But as far as that, you can have your opinion, but I also have mine. Absolutely nothing wrong with what D'Angelo Hall said because I promise you, 99% of the players on the Cowboys defense, and even in the entire NFL, would do that. They're not going to say, oh, your ribs are hurt, so let me make sure that I hit you lightly. No. Football is a man's game, and there's a reason for that because things like this happen. Can't take a hit, don't play. Simple as that. But Tony Romo, by all means, can take a hit, and he showed that last night. Kept taking licks, but he kept getting up and getting hit and getting up and getting hit and getting up. And just when you think it was one hit too many, and he ain't gonna get up, and he's gonna have to be helped to the sideline, what does he do? He gets up, clutching his ribs, staggers back to the huddle, calls the next play, and gets a first down. Lights out football by Tony Romo. I think of this game kind of like Cam Newton's win over the Jaguars. It wasn't pretty. He didn't throw for 400 yards. but he didn't throw any picks either, and he led his team to victory. That's what matters. You know what? I would rather have my quarterback throw for 50 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a win than to throw for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and lose the game. That's just me. If you prefer stats over victories, good on you. More power to you. I hope that works out for you. I really do. But me personally, I prefer wins over stats. But whatever suits you. That was Tony Romo. We saw the leader in him, and he was stepping up, leading the young receivers, pointing at them, telling them what to do. Like I said, lighting into Phil Costa, being the leader that we all know that he can be, and finally he stepped into those shoes last night. Now, I'm not quite done with Tony Romo yet, but I'm going to go ahead and hop to London Fletcher right quick. They addressed it before the game started, and they showed us what happened because they didn't show it on TV while it was happening, but they showed us what happened before they kicked the ball off. And if you think back a few years ago, actually way more than a few years ago, way before T.O. was a Cowboy, way before he was an Eagle, I want you to think all the way back to when he was a 49er. And the 49ers played the Cowboys in Dallas in Texas Stadium, which no longer exists. T.O. came out on the star, and he was stomping on the star. And basically, showing disrespect. And Redskins took that a step further. They got their, on Friday Night Lights, whenever they, Mike Winchell standing over on the sideline with Gary Gaines, played by Billy Bob Thornton. And Mike Winchell, of course, played by Lucas Black. Awesome movie. Best football movie ever made besides Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans will always be number 1. Friday Night Lights is number 2. And We Are Marshall was up there as well. But awesome football movie. Number 2 out of all the football movies made, that's not a bad spot. But anyways, as the other team, I forget who they were playing in this particular scene, but they send out like 8 guys for the coin toss. And Mike Lynch was like, "Coach, they're trying to psych us, man. That's completely unnecessary, sending out 8 guys for the coin toss." And Gary Gaines is like, "So psych them back." And the entire team of the Odessa Permian Panthers joins hands. The entire football team walks out to the 50, to midfield. And that's what the Redskins did. They brought their entire team, not during the coin toss, but they brought their entire team out to our star, stomping on it. And, they're just having fun, whatever. The thing I have a problem with is what London Fletcher said. He said, quote, "This is our house." Now, all I'm going to say is that you need to shut up with that because you in Arlington, and people here is crazy. Honestly, and this isn't a racist comment, you can take it out of context and take it that way if you want, but you got some crazy people here, and I'm surprised that London Fletcher didn't get shot after the game. Okay, you thought what happened in San Francisco was bad in the preseason? I'm really surprised that the fans didn't do or say anything about that. But Dallas proved that it's not the Redskins' house. It is, in fact, our house. And we weren't going to let them beat us in our home opener 2 years in a row. So the Cowboys get the win, the first victory, the first home opener victory ever in New Cowboy Stadium since its grand opening just a few years ago. Now, sorry, pop-ups on my computer. So the Cowboys are looking good right now. The Redskins is a trench fight, really. I don't really know, what else to say about it. Tony Romo once again showing the man that he is, showing, just as I said in my last video, that quite frankly, Tony Romo says, quote, "I'm done losing. I'm done being the laughingstock of the Cowboys. I'm done being the laughingstock of the NFL." And I believe that this year he is going to trade in that old nickname that people have given him, Romo the Homo. For the record, there is no H in his name. He's going to trade in his nickname, Romo the Homo, for Romo the Champion. And I truly believe that. You can see it in his eyes, something that you've never seen before, and that was an absolute passion and desire to win. You look in his eyes last season, the season before that, etc. He was just out there playing ball, having a good time, and it really didn't matter to him if he won or not because he was still getting paid either way. Just like Dirk with the Mavs. But now you can look in his eyes and you can tell that he really wants it. And sometimes hunger is so strong that it can't be stopped. Sometimes the hunger and the heart and the passion and the determination is a greater asset than the talent itself. Tony Romo wants to win this year. It's not one of those years where he doesn't care. And I believe that that alone will be enough to at least get us into the playoffs. Cowboys miss the playoffs this year, I'll be very surprised. Now, we got the Lions next week. I'm not going to talk about that game in this video. I'm about to do another episode right after this one, and I'll highlight the Lions game for you and preview it. But as of right now, the Dallas Cowboys are 2-1. So are the Washington Redskins. So are the New York Giants. Philadelphia Eagles 1-2. So we got the Lions next week, and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to make my prediction in this video. Like I said, that's for a whole nother edition. But for right now, that's a wrap, guys. This your boy Landon. This is Cowboys End Zone. So long, all you Cowboy fans and haters. I'm out. How about them Cowboys? Peace.